In Los Angeles, President Trump has ordered 2,000 National Guards into the city to counter escalating protests in a predominantly Hispanic district of the Californian city.
Did you know that the streets of Los Angeles are a flashpoint? Days of escalating immigration enforcement actions by ICE have sparked outrageous protests. Now, in an unprecedented move, President Trump has ordered the National Guard into the heart of California's largest city. But this isn't just about law enforcement. It's a rapidly unfolding legal and political battle with implications reaching far beyond the Golden State. So let's find out more about it. Los Angeles, California finds itself at the center of a significant and evolving national discussion surrounding immigration enforcement and the delicate balance of federal and state authority. This past Sunday witnessed the unprecedented arrival of California National Guard troops in Los Angeles, a deployment ordered by President Trump amidst escalating tensions between immigration agents and protesters, and against the backdrop of a deepening political chasm between California and the federal administration.
Of Southern California. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Becca Habiger in for Luke Clary tonight. A third night of unrest in Los Angeles. The National Guard is on the ground following days of immigration protests and escalating clashes with law enforcement. Take a live look here over downtown Los Angeles tonight, which continues to see protest activity. Earlier today, streets were lined with demonstrators, some still walking the street as we see a large law enforcement presence on the streets here attempting to take back control. Now take a look. Earlier, demonstrators confronted patrol vehicles and shut down stretches of the 101 freeway. Hundreds of National Guard troops joined LAPD and CHP officers in the city's downtown core. A protester was even seen hurling rocks. Others seen reportedly setting driverless vehicles on fire. Tonight, we're learning at least 3 LA police officers were mildly hurt.
This move, marking the first instance since 1965 that a president has deployed a state's National Guard without the express request of its governor, has ignited a fervent debate across the nation. California's Governor Gavin Newsom, along with numerous state and local officials, has strongly condemned the deployment, asserting that it was not initiated to address an actual need, but rather to deliberately create a perception of crisis. The activation of nearly 2,000 guardsmen follows a week marked by an intensified series of immigration raids across Southern California, leaving many with urgent questions about how individuals and businesses should navigate interactions with federal agents. Recent high-profile enforcement actions have brought this issue to the forefront. Last Friday, agents with Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducted arrests in the Garment District, specifically at Ambiance Apparel, where employees were detained within the clothing wholesaler and at other undisclosed locations. These raids sparked widespread protests throughout the weekend, ultimately leading to the Trump administration's decision to deploy National Guard troops to downtown Los Angeles. These events are the latest in a string of aggressive immigration enforcement actions, reflecting President Trump's intensified crackdown on undocumented immigration. Just days prior, a similar incident unfolded in San Diego, where immigration agents raided a popular restaurant, leading to arrests and a subsequent standoff with incensed residents. Furthermore, Chinese and Taiwanese nationals were also apprehended at an underground nightclub in the Los Angeles area. Officials have indicated that more raids are anticipated in the coming days. Tom Homan, identified as President Trump's border czar, conveyed a resolute stance to NBC News, stating, "I'm telling you what, we're going to keep enforcing law every day in LA. Every day in LA, we're going to enforce immigration law. I don't care if they like it or not." While the duration and full scope of this larger operation remain undisclosed by officials, the deployment memorandum for the National Guard in Los Angeles stipulated that the duration of duty shall be for 60 days or at the discretion of the Secretary of Defense. In addition, the Secretary of Defense may employ any other members of the regular armed forces as necessary to augment and support the protection of federal functions and property in any number determined appropriate in his discretion. In light of these rapidly unfolding developments, the Times has, over the past few months, diligently sought guidance from experts to provide crucial information for both employees and employers who may find themselves directly impacted by these enforcement actions. A surge of immigration enforcement actions is currently unfolding across the Los Angeles region, igniting widespread protests and escalating tensions between state and federal authorities. Reports indicate that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has conducted multiple raids, sparking concern among community leaders and residents alike. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass confirmed she was aware of at least 5 such operations throughout the area, with one occurring unsettlingly close to her grandson's school. Meanwhile, in Santa Ana, a city approximately 30 miles southeast of Los Angeles in Orange County, local police have acknowledged that immigration authorities are carrying out enforcement actions. The Santa Ana Police Department issued a statement recognizing that this news undoubtedly causes fear and uncertainty within their community, as protests over these operations have already erupted. Demonstrations against immigration raids and mass deportations are not isolated to Southern California, having spread to cities nationwide including Tampa, Florida, Boston, Massachusetts, and Houston, Texas, in the wake of the National Guard's deployment to Los Angeles. Also, California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared his intention to sue over the federal government's deployment of U.S. Marines to Los Angeles. This follows an earlier lawsuit filed by Governor Newsom and California Attorney General Rob Bonta against the Trump administration for deploying National Guard troops to the city without the governor's authorization. Meanwhile, an individual is accused of throwing rocks at law enforcement vehicles, leading to charges of assaulting a federal officer and damaging government property. The FBI has released photographs of the suspect, who is depicted wearing a cap and a bandana covering part of his face, and is seen climbing on top of a car. The agency is offering a reward of $50,000 for any information that leads to his identification, warning the public that he is considered armed and dangerous. As these events continue to unfold, the focus remains on ensuring factual accuracy, avoiding any missteps that could compromise public understanding, and delivering news with the utmost professionalism and clarity, reflecting the gravity of the situation at hand. In Los Angeles, a tense standoff has emerged between a group of protesters and law enforcement officials in the city's Little Tokyo district. Eyewitness accounts describe demonstrators throwing objects, including a bottle aimed at officers, and deploying fireworks directly at police lines. In response, authorities have been heard firing stunt grenades, and reports indicate the use of pepper balls against the protesters. This escalating situation has led police to declare the assembly unlawful, prompting a significant reinforcement of law enforcement personnel. A formidable line of police cars, sirens blaring, has arrived on the scene accompanied by numerous officers on foot, equipped with batons. The deployed forces include officers from several surrounding counties, in addition to the California Highway Patrol, highlighting the scale of the response initiated after Los Angeles County requested backup last night. The recent unrest in Los Angeles has also seen striking images of vehicles engulfed in flames. Among these incidents, 5 vehicles belonging to Waymo, the robo-taxi company owned by Google, were vandalized. The company has stated that it does not believe its vehicles were intentionally targeted, suggesting they were caught in the broader scope of the disturbances. While Waymo continues to offer services in Los Angeles, it proactively removed its cars from the downtown area yesterday and has yet to resume operations there. Similarly, Waymo is still active in San Francisco, but is reportedly avoiding areas where protests are anticipated to gather. A prominent symbol throughout the Los Angeles protests against the Trump administration's immigration policies has been the Mexican flag. Various versions of the flag, sometimes integrated with the U.S. flag, have been carried by both peaceful demonstrators and those involved in more violent street confrontations. Vice President J.D. Vance and other Trump administration officials have publicly criticized the display of these flags, characterizing the demonstrators as insurrectionists waving foreign flags. Stephen Miller, a senior White House advisor, echoed this sentiment in a recent social media post, condemning foreign nationals, waving foreign flags, rioting and obstructing federal law enforcement, attempting to expel illegal foreign invaders. However, for many Mexican-American protesters who are U.S. citizens by birthright, the flag serves as a powerful expression of pride in their heritage. As Alexandro J. Gradila, an associate professor and chair of the Chicana O Studies Department at California State University Fullerton, explained, the flag represents family, identity, culture. He added that it is a reflection of people having a sense of history and community, and people see that flag as something beyond representing a country. The deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles by the Trump administration has drawn criticism from various quarters, including a former National Guard officer. Retired Lieutenant General Russell Honoré, speaking to BBC Newsday, asserted that the National Guards are not needed in Los Angeles, describing the deployment as an escalation that's being perpetrated by the White House to be able to deploy federal troops anytime, anywhere in America. The unrest has also seen alarming incidents involving members of the press. Footage showing a police officer aiming their gun towards a news camera and firing, subsequently striking an Australian reporter with a rubber bullet, has garnered significant international attention. Channel 9's Lauren Tomasi was hit in the leg while covering the demonstrations in Los Angeles. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese condemned the footage as horrific, stating there was no ambiguity that Ms. Tomasi was a journalist. He confirmed that the matter has been raised with the U.S. administration, emphasizing that we don't find it acceptable that it occurred. Prime Minister Albanese also noted he had spoken with Ms. Tomasi, who, despite being sore and bruised, is reportedly pretty resilient. In a related incident, a British news photographer required emergency surgery after also being shot in the leg with a non-lethal projectile during the protests. These occurrences underscore the dangers faced by journalists covering civil unrest and raise serious questions about the targeting of media professionals. As protests continue and legal challenges mount, what will happen next? Let us know in the comments what you think of the whole situation, and if you want to stay on top of this, smash that like and subscribe button.